Look at this car hood, right down the middle, two sides. One side, water just sits there, flat, dead, doing nothing. The other side, water is violently exploding off the surface like it's hitting a force field, like the paint itself is alive and rejecting every single molecule of moisture. That protected side was not done with a $2,000 ceramic coating at a detailing shop. It was not done with a $40 spray can from the auto parts store. That side was done with $2 worth of cooking oil from the grocery store. $2. And the $5 billion ceramic coating industry has spent years making sure you never find that out. The ingredient is called 100% pure flaxseed oil. You can find it right now in the cooking oil aisle at your local grocery store, sitting right next to the olive oil and the vegetable oil for about $2 a bottle. And here is the part that changes everything. This is not a temporary wax. This is not a greasy coating that washes off in the first rain. What flaxseed oil does to your car's clear coat is something the synthetic chemical industry cannot replicate at any price point, and they know it. Here is the science, and pay close attention because this is the part that separates what you are about to do from every product on the shelf at AutoZone. Flaxseed oil, also known as linseed oil, is classified as a natural drying oil. Now, olive oil is not a drying oil. Vegetable oil is not a drying oil. Those oils stay greasy and liquid forever, which is exactly why you never use them on paint. But flaxseed oil is fundamentally different at the molecular level. When you apply an ultra-thin, microscopic layer of pure flaxseed oil to your car's clear coat and you expose it to oxygen and UV sunlight, something extraordinary happens inside that thin film. The oil undergoes a chemical process called autoxidative polymerization. That is a real chemical process. It means the individual oil molecules begin absorbing oxygen from the air and they start bonding to each other, cross-linking together in a chain reaction, curing into a hard, transparent, hydrophobic resin right on the surface of your paint. It does not sit on top of your clear coat like a wax. It does not evaporate like a spray sealant. It literally seals the microscopic pores of your clear coat by transforming itself into a glass-like polymer film through pure chemistry. No heat gun, no UV lamp, no spray booth, just oxygen and sunlight. The result is extreme water beading, a deep wet look shine, and a hardened surface that resists contamination. This is the exact same polymerization principle that the synthetic ceramic coating industry built a $5 billion empire on. They just replaced a $2 natural oil with a synthetic quartz-based polymer and charged you $2,000 for the labor to apply it. But watch closely what happens next, because the application process is where most people make the mistake that ruins the whole thing. Step 1. Wash your car completely and dry it thoroughly. I mean completely dry. Not damp, not mostly dry, bone dry. Any water trapped under the oil layer will interfere with the polymerization reaction and you will end up with a streaky mess. A clean, dry surface is not optional. It is the foundation of everything. Step 2. Take a clean microfiber applicator pad. Not a foam pad, not a cotton rag, a microfiber applicator pad. You can get one at any auto parts store for about $2. Now listen carefully here because this is the most critical step. Put 3 to 4 drops of the pure flaxseed oil onto that pad. 3 to 4 drops. That is it. If you use more than that, you will create a thick layer that never fully polymerizes, and you will spend an hour trying to buff off a greasy mess. The entire secret to this working is applying a layer so thin it is nearly invisible. Less is infinitely more here. Step 3. Apply the oil to your paint in straight, overlapping lines. Not circles, not random swipes. Straight, parallel lines moving across one panel at a time. Work the oil into the surface with gentle, even pressure. You are not trying to scrub it in. You are laying down the thinnest possible film across every inch of the panel. Work one panel at a time. Hood first, then roof, then trunk, then doors. Do not let the oil dry on one panel while you are working on the next. Step 4. This is where the magic happens and the chemical companies do not want you to know this next part. Once you have applied the oil to a panel, let it sit in direct sunlight for 15 to 20 minutes. You are using the sun as your curing agent. The UV rays accelerate the autoxidative polymerization reaction. You will actually be able to see the surface change. It goes from slightly glossy to a harder, drier, more mirror-like finish right in front of you. If it is overcast outside, give it 30 minutes. If it is cold and cloudy, apply it in your garage and then move the car into sunlight to cure. Step 5. After the curing time, take a second clean, dry microfiber towel and buff off any excess residue in the same straight line motion. You are not removing the coating. You are removing any surface excess that has not yet fully bonded so that what remains is only the cured polymer layer. What you are left with is a hard, hydrophobic, mirror finish surface that will bead water violently and repel road grime, bird droppings, tree sap, and brake dust with dramatically more resistance than any wax or spray sealant you have ever used. And it cost you $2. Now, I need you to understand exactly how big of a scam the industry just pulled on you, because this is the part that should genuinely make you angry. Here's the part the detailing brands hide. The chemical science behind ceramic coatings is not new. It is not a modern breakthrough. The principle of using polymerizing oils to harden and protect surfaces has been documented for over 500 years. The old masters in Renaissance Europe used linseed oil as a binder in oil paints, specifically because it cured into a hard, transparent, impermeable film. Shipbuilders in the 1700s used boiled linseed oil to seal and weatherproof wooden hulls against salt water because it polymerized into an incredibly tough, water-resistant barrier. Victorian-era craftsmen used it on everything from furniture to tool handles to structural woodwork because they understood that a natural drying oil, applied correctly, created a durable seal that outlasted almost anything else available at the time. The military used it, industrial manufacturers used it. It was considered essential knowledge for anyone who worked with surfaces that needed long-term protection. Then the 1960s happened. Then the 1970s. The synthetic chemical industry exploded. And suddenly, the knowledge of natural drying oils and their polymerization properties started disappearing from mainstream awareness. Not because synthetic polymers were better, but because natural oils could not be patented. You cannot patent flaxseed oil. You cannot put a proprietary formula on a substance that comes straight from a plant and has been used by humans for 500 years. And if you cannot patent it, you cannot charge $1,200 for a small bottle of it. You cannot build a service industry around it. You cannot franchise it. You cannot sell it in auto parts stores with a massive retail markup. You cannot run television commercials about it. So instead, the industry took the same polymerization chemistry, recreated it with synthetic quartz-based polymers and fluoropolymers in a laboratory, slapped a patent on the synthetic version, and built an entire certification and service industry around the idea that only a trained professional with expensive equipment could properly apply it. They created a cultural mythology around ceramic coatings. They made it sound like space-age nanotechnology that required a degree in chemistry to understand. They made you feel like you needed them. They built a $5 billion industry on top of a process that nature already solved for $2 in the cooking oil aisle. Today, a professional ceramic coating installation can run you anywhere from $800 to $2,500, depending on the shop and the product. The DIY spray ceramic products at auto parts stores retail for $30 to $60, and most of them last 4 to 6 weeks before they start streaking, oxidizing, and degrading. The industry has structured itself so that you are either paying a professional enormous sums for the premium version, or you are buying a watered-down retail substitute that fails fast enough to guarantee you come back for another bottle within the season. Either way, the money flows away from you and toward them, repeatedly, on a schedule they designed. A product you cannot patent and cannot make fail on a schedule does not fit into that business model at all. So they buried it. Not with a conspiracy, not with secret meetings, just with money. Marketing dollars spent on synthetic products. Retail shelf space negotiated for branded sprays. Sponsored YouTube detailing channels reviewing only the products that pay for the review. Influencer partnerships with detailing shops that charge $2,000 for the same chemistry you just applied with a microfiber pad and 3 drops of grocery store oil. That is how suppression works in the modern era. Not a ban, just a wall of noise and money that drowns out a $2 bottle sitting quietly in the cooking oil aisle. Before I close this out, I need to mention something important. The flaxseed oil discovery is one of dozens of buried solutions sitting inside the complete buried blueprint vault. The link is in the description. Inside the vault, there are full guides covering hidden solutions for rust, mold, rotting wood, energy loss, waterproofing, and structural repair, all using cheap, common materials the industry does not want you finding. If you found value in what this video just exposed, the vault is where the deeper work lives. Check the link below. But stay here for the next 60 seconds because the contrast I am about to lay out is going to solidify exactly why this matters. You just spent $2. $2 at the grocery store for a bottle of 100% pure flaxseed oil. You spent maybe 45 minutes washing your car, applying the oil in straight lines, letting it cure in the sun, and buffing off the excess. 45 minutes and $2. The detailing shop down the street would have charged you between $800 and $2,000 to do the same thing with a synthetic quartz polymer. The auto parts store would have sold you a $35 spray ceramic that would start failing in 6 weeks and leave you buying another bottle before the season is over. The industry designed that entire cycle intentionally. They built it to extract maximum money from you on a repeating schedule, and they built it on top of chemistry that nature already perfected and that your great-grandfather already understood before the synthetic chemical lobby had enough money to bury it. The detailing industry prays every single day that you never walk down the cooking oil aisle with this information in your head. Share this video. Send it to everyone you know who owns a car. Every view this gets is $1 that does not go to a detailing shop and $1 that stays in your pocket. Subscribe to this channel right now and hit the notification bell because every blueprint we publish is another piece of the wall coming down. The industry counts on your ignorance. Your awareness is the only thing they cannot buy. And if you think the ceramic coating industry is a scam, wait until you see what they are hiding about washing your tires. What they put in those tire shine products and what it is actually doing to your rubber over time is something no detailing brand will ever voluntarily tell you. Subscribe so you do not miss it. The next blueprint opens soon, and what is inside is even heavier.